So yeah, back again with me. I'm Diego from Unseen, and
I'm Isaac.
And I'm FJ. Nice to meet you.
from Loop Garms.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We were in design school. I think back then, I think, but you could tell passion is like undeniable. So I think,
Moving to the next question.
yes, sir. Being like a vintage store and being in a time where the scene wasn't mature, we were, I guess, if we want to put like the leaders of like trying to define what the scene will be, so I think that was tough because a lot of people, they assume like they don't understand like, okay, like pop culture, vintage history and whatnot, so assume like these items are like the same, and we have definitely, I think, over the course of 6 years converted a lot of people who used to be, I guess, if you want to use the term, like, I guess, hype beasts, yeah. So yeah, I think that's some more of the struggle in Singapore, it's like trying to start something that's very niche that mainstream, like, the crowd wouldn't understand. Yeah, that's tough because Singapore's always like, I want. Mostly, I think, yes, there are people who sell like on carousel and whatnot, but I think a larger group of, like, I guess, vintage sellers or second-hand clothing sellers, they sell it on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have like Instagram accounts. Sometimes they have a carousel account, but mostly I think now people sell on Instagram. But I think the problem is, right, yes, I mean, it's competition, but I don't think it's so much of a threat. Why? Because a lot of these like sellers on Instagram and carousel, right, they list their items, SEO, the search engine optimization. So you type a certain keyword, your thing pops up. Every time, all these people, they'll just put, even if it's not a vintage tee.
Oh yeah.
Even like 2020 tee, they'll just put vintage this. So at least when people type vintage, it will appear, right?
Yeah.
So it becomes a thing where for newcomers who do not know anything about vintage, they see this, oh shit, this is a cool vintage tee. Oh, $6. Okay, let's get it. But it's 2020, bro. It's not about whether you could sell that shirt. You could just don't call it vintage.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But
Yeah.
a lot of people know that it's the buzzword. It's the thing that gets people, so they put vintage, or 80s, 90s. Dude, sometimes it's very blatant. Why I don't think it's a threat is because most of the people doing this who are listing, I'm not saying all, they don't do their homework and they just want people for the clicks. I'm not concerned about threat because for the real people who like know about like vintage, they will be able to tell whether it's whatever they say is true. I'm just worried that if you want to build a scene, you want to build a culture, the younger kids, because of the prices
That's so sad.
it's not about buying from us, but we want to send the right information to people. Even in our store, even the expensive pieces, people come through. We always say this is a library, this is a museum. You come through, you pick up anything, you don't buy, it's okay. But when you leave the store, we hope that you have like a new idea of what vintage really is, which is stories and history. And it makes you think. And then when you go to other stores, other physical stores who claim to sell vintage, or online, carousel, Instagram, or when you go overseas, when people say they're vintage store sellers, that is really how we wanted to, condense our information and our knowledge, for beginners. So yeah. Like we mentioned, we are a curated pop culture store that focuses on pieces from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, focusing more on movies, TV show, anime, music, art, sports, right? So here it's very, very curated to a point where if it's related to pop culture, there's a story behind it, it will be here, right? So for Stick Out, okay, we actually wanted to open it a year after we opened Loop Garms. But then we realized like we didn't have enough like manpower, and then we think it's a bit risky because we don't want to like split just two of us. It's very difficult, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to open in 2020, but COVID came, so we opened in 2021. Yes. So the difference mainly is for that, it's more about styling. It's all about putting fits together. You don't have to be so concerned about like, wow, the history, the story. It's more about how you get fits together. We can find a cardigan, we can find like a white leg pants, stuff like that. But of course, we still have vintage pieces over there. For sure, we have like 60s like varsity cardigans, for example. But why isn't it here? It's because I don't think for us it's like the story aspect, the story value will be fit for this like type of things that we have. So yeah, so I think main difference is here is more story and history based, there's more style based. But of course you could still find vintage pieces, but the story aspect will be lesser as compared to here. In fact, no for both.
Yeah.
You know, for both we've always wanted to go to
Oh,
Indonesia like all the time. I mean, we had a conversation just now, you know, I think we have a lot of Indonesian customers also, Indonesian students, international students who study in Singapore. I think, you know, they always speak fondly about Indonesia, you know, always like, oh, please come, you know. It's like for Jakarta's, you know, 1 hour plus away, you know, you could do a weekend trip, you know, stuff like that. Come and eat our food, you know, it's good. That's what they always say, and I think I mentioned to you guys during my university days, I had a lot of friends from Bandung, so you know they have always been asking me, you know, what do you do? You should come to Bandung. It's your vibe, you know, you should come, you know, stuff like that. But we definitely wanna make our trip out there for sure, like just to see the scene. Yeah.
It's more cool in Bandung about the fashion.
Yeah.
Because in Jakarta it's too hot, so people cannot explore more.
Yeah. But I'm sure people still be. They don't care. They want to wear a jacket. They just wear a jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same in Singapore as well. You know, and I feel like that should be the way. I feel like, you know, don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Like, of course, if you're not comfortable, if you get a heat stroke, that's on you. But like other than that, I feel like, dude, just rock it, man. You know. Yeah, we're well, fortunately or unfortunately, you know, we are in a tropical area. You know, Southeast Asia. So yeah. I want to say right now,
They're gonna ask you to go to Maxwell.
I think probably number one will be the Lithuania.
The famous one.
Yeah, the Olympic, the 1996 like Olympic. They won the bronze medal.
They're gonna
And
ask you to
so
go to the state.
we had all the different variants. So 1992, 1996, 2000.
The one here.
Yeah, so fun fact, I mean, the story behind like all these, right, is like in 1992, the Barcelona Olympics, right? That Barcelona Olympics was known for the USA Dream Team,
This one is
right?
the one.
Yeah.
So they obviously won gold, USA. But the fun fact that people didn't know is that Lithuania was actually a new nation that just gained independence.
Yeah.
And they were basically, the story goes that, you know, they were actually
And then for like hawker stores,
the Grateful Dead, the band, actually saw their plight. Like, you know, they just gained independence, they don't have the funds to travel to Barcelona to play. They actually kind of like funded them to go to Barcelona to play. And they won the bronze medal. And, second one, I would say, maybe this. Vampire Hunter, the Bloodlust. So I'm a huge like anime fan, I'm a huge manga fan, and for this piece, you know, it's in the early 2000s, it's a 2001 piece, like promo tee. But I think like older like tees, even like you see the promo tees, it's always cleaner, it's always slick, like this PS2 Final Fantasy 7 promo tee with Cloud. Yeah, and I think I like how the, you know, one of the main characters is like blended with the like the nice fade. So, and the nice, we always like a nice back hit, you know. So yeah, I think this is Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. It's probably one of my favorites right now. This was actually a Japanese cooking reality program. It's a Japanese show. It's called, in Japanese, it's called Ryuri no Tatsujin. This promo is actually an early 2000s US promo. Why? Because in the late 90s and early 2000s, the US Food Network channel, right? They actually bought the rights to Iron Chef, and they actually dubbed the Iron Chef Japanese into English, like, so it's basically the Japanese show but like in English, you know. And so I think why it means so much to me is because when I was a kid, I used to watch Iron Chef a lot, and it's so iconic. Like if you go to YouTube without Iron Chef episodes, right, the way they set the thing, it's a very Japanese thing. Okay, right. So I really like all these like things that resonate with your past also. So yeah.
Okay, I think that's all. That's the whole interview with
Thank you, Diego.
Thank you so much, Isaac. And okay, we're going to see take out maybe after this.
Yes, of
We're
course.
going to buy something.
No problem.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Boom. Like, subscribe.
Yeah,
Let's go.
follow Loop Garms.
Yes, sir. Boom.